What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're gonna finish up Ghostwire Tokyo at 4K. Now, I'm not quite sure how it's going to do, but I'm hoping that it'll actually play decently. But we won't know till we get in there, so why don't we jump right into the settings?
Alright, starting out 4K as usual at low. This game does not have any presets, so I had to make my own. So I hope I did a good enough job. But here's my version of low settings. And we'll do ray tracing and upscaling and all that towards the end of the video. Well, here we go with some low settings at 4K. And kind of what I was expecting, even on low, we can't quite hit 60. So it's probably going to tank once we do medium and whatnot, but hey, whatever. I bet you it'll be playable once we do FSR. It won't really be 4K anymore, but that just means if you're playing on a 4K screen, you can still play with the game looking great. And hell, at 4K, honestly, that's where FSR was mainly meant to be used. It kind of seems to make everything look way too terrible, at least to FSR 1.0, on the lower resolutions. Like anything under 1440p makes it look kind of terrible once you start getting under ultra quality and quality. Balanced is okay, but I don't even like balance that much, to be honest with you. But so far, it's still pretty smooth. I don't think I'd even notice we weren't getting 60 all the time if I didn't have this frame rate counter up. Probably because the frame times aren't, like, stuttering all over the place. I mean, they're a little tiny jumpy, but it's nothing like stutters or anything like that. Hotel silent? Yeah. But alright, let's move on.
Alright, starting off our 4K adventure here. We are on completely low right now. And we can't even hit 60 FPS. We're close. I'm pretty sure without the FPS counter, I wouldn't know I wasn't getting 60 right now. All the time. But, keep in mind, this is just on low. We have many other things to do, so I feel like this is probably going to be one of those games where if you want to play it on a 4K TV, you're probably going to have to use some FSR Ultra Quality. That would be my guess. At least if you want to turn some settings up anyway. Obviously, I could play this just like this, no problem. It doesn't actually even look that bad. There's another one of these guys. I think I already... Yeah, that's the one from earlier. From like way in the beginning of the game. Yeah, I remember because I came up this. Anyway, though, why don't we move on to medium?
Now let's move on to medium settings. Everything at the top is the same. As you can see, there's no VSync or frame rate cam. And now everything's on medium. Besides things that can't go to medium. And then ray tracing and upscaling will be later. Alright, time for some medium gameplay, and like I thought, we're down to 30 FPS already, just from going from low to medium at 4K, but 4K is pretty taxing. And I'm pretty sure I just saw a spirit back there, but nothing I can do about it now. Since I voice record after the fact. But at least now I know I can come back and get one later. I can kind of remember it on my map. Man, this is a lot of trash back here. Shit. Oh well. This is still not as horrible as what I'm used to. I'd almost call this playable after dealing with all the 8 to 15 FPS I was dealing with before, but I still would prefer a 60 FPS plus experience, but that's just me. Oh, here we go. We can get these guys. Come over here, spirits. Come on over here, I'll put you in a weird paper doll, and then I'll transfer you into a phone, and then somehow you'll get back to your bodies. At least that's how I understand it works anyway. Oh, I already must have gotten this. It's not doing anything. I must have already prayed at it. Yep. Oh well. Was worth a shot. You never know if you don't try. Oh, and I can't go in there anyway. I'll have to figure out how to get to those spirits. I wonder if they're like underground or what. But anyway, let us move on.
Well, just turning it to medium got us all the way down into the 30s. The low 30s at that. But this is still way more playable than getting like 4 FPS, like when we turned ray tracing on ultra wide. Man, I am scared to turn ray tracing on 4K. it's probably going to literally be unplayable. So that might literally just be like a couple 20-second videos being like, yeah, look at this. Can't play. You know? We'll see, though. It would make sense if ultra-wide was pretty unplayable anyway. Yeah, I'm excited to get some of those shrines cleansed so I can get some more of some more place to explore, you know? We've already gone around all of these so many times. But I'm still finding shit, and that stuff like that, like, replenishes itself. I swear I've been noticing, like, food that I think I've picked up coming back. I could just be crazy, but I swear that's what I saw. Anyway, though, let's move on to high now.
On to high settings now. Everything at the top is always the same. And as you can see, everything has been clicked up one notch. Everything's on high. And then ray tracing and FSR will come at the end of the video. Okay, let's get some high gameplay in now. And somehow we've gotten better FPS now. So that's cool. I don't really know how I explain that, but I'll take it. Must just hate something about a medium setting. I don't know. Alright, that's all fog. We can't go that way. Well, this is a lot more playable all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, but we did not, like, lower the quality or anything. Cool. I'll take it. Can't explain it, but I'll take it. Oh, can I give this guy some food? Oh, we can pet him. Nope, I guess I probably already did that on him, so he probably is already done. Just a guess. But now it's time for us to move on.
Alright, so something pretty strange has happened here. Unless somebody can spot some setting I accidentally lowered. It seems like now we're getting more FPS on high than we were on medium. So that's cool. I can't really explain it, but that's what's happening. You're all watching it happen just like I am. Already been there. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. But doing 4 different resolutions will take you around pretty much the whole city, I guess. Seeing as though I'm not trying to go any farther because it keeps trying to shove me in buildings. Especially around the ray tracing time. And I'm all like, no. Being out here in the open world is the best place for ray tracing. Stop it, you know? But it wasn't going to stop. So I decided to do shit my own way. Where we're just running around the city. I think I've killed all the freaking spirits I can kill too. I haven't seen any in a while. I do not think they respawn. Well, at least I don't think they do. Guess only time will tell, but I feel like I would have seen some more by now. Anyway though, why don't we pump this up to cinematic mode?
Time for cinematic now, which the game is now basically maxed out, minus the ray tracing anyway. Alright, let's just keep on scrolling down. I thought I noticed what was changed, but then I was like, no, it wasn't. I thought the quality mode thing up top changed for video quality or movie quality. Anyway, let's move on. Well, now it's time for cinematic, which the game is now maxed out for the most part, just not with ray tracing. And we're still getting more FPS than we did on medium. Don't know how that works, but that's what's happening. I looked in the settings and I definitely didn't change anything. There's no sneaky business like FSR being turned on or anything yet, so I don't know. But still, that's actually pretty good FPS considering this is 4K and the game is maxed out. But I feel like if it's getting these kind of FPS here, once we turn on FSR on ultra quality, it'll probably be super playable FPS and still look really good. Wish the game supported FSR 2.0 though, but you never know. They might update it, but probably not. This game's pretty old by today's standards, but I've said that about other games and they've updated them to have DLSS and FSR, so I guess I'll just have to wait and see. Ah, here's that lady who wanted me to go in her house. I ain't going in there right now, though. No, thank you. Hey, there's a tree. Well, before I try to do anything about it, why don't we move on?
Well, we're on cinematic now at 4K, and we're still getting like 40 FPS, so not bad. Doing a lot better than I thought we were going to, anyway. There we go. Yep, I just don't think I understood how to deal with that before. And I don't know, I kind of want to get this car that's in the ground. It just seems fun. Alright, that's where I'm supposed to go. So there still was a few things to do. Can't reach it. Alright, well I can at least get this. Money! And there's some up there too. Alright though, let's move on.
Now we're going to do FSR. So we're leaving the game maxed out, but we're not turning ray tracing on yet. We're just going to see how the game does with FSR and being maxed out first. And there we go, FSR 1.0 unfortunately. But we got it on ultra quality, so let's jump back into the game. Well, hell yeah. We're on FSR ultra quality, and we're getting some decent FPS now. That's what I was hoping for. So yeah, we're not really at 4K anymore, but if you wanted to put your... or play this game on a 4K TV or something of that, like a monitor, TV, anything at 4K, you can. You're just going to have to use FSR if you want playable frame rates and still having all the eye candy on. Well, minus ray tracing. There is no ray tracing yet. We'll try that later. Alright, nope, I guess I can't speed absorb them in midair. I thought I'd give it a try, though. You can't blame a guy for trying. Alright, is there any other way we can jump up there, though? I think that's too far for me to leap. Huh, must have something to do with jumping down from a building or something. We'll figure that out later. Let's just keep running around, huh? Here's another tree, but it's in the fog, so I can't really do anything. I guess I can still blow it up. Haha, there we go. That was cool. And I guess I could just damage myself a little bit to grab the spirits. There we go, we got our spirits, and then we can just eat a little bit if we wanted to, but we're not that damaged. But now we can move on.
Well, here we are on FSR Ultra Quality, and this is how I would play this on 4K on a TV for sure. Doesn't look bad. Getting good FPS, considering we're a high, well, relatively high resolution. I don't really know exactly what resolution it drops down to for FSR. But we're not really at 4K, so I almost slipped up and said when you're doing 4K, but as soon as you do DLSS or FSR, you're not really at 4K anymore. Yep, this is where I was supposed to be, I think. So somehow I've got to figure out how to fix this stuff. Give me that. Alright, are there any more of you? Alright though, let's move on to the next FSR, shall we?
Alright, so now we've got FSR on quality. And I seem to have found some things to cleanse. I don't know if I can get this one because it looks like it's in the fog. I'll come back to that one. Maybe I have to come back to that one after. Or it could just be an optical illusion. Maybe there's not even any fog there, but I'm not taking any chances. We'll go deal with these guys first. Ooh, there's a bunch of guys over here. Alright, let's fuck him up. Don't you creepily run at me. Oh, he got me. Oh, at least he's toast now. It's a good thing those things are slow. I have enough time to grab the core. Alright, now we can cleanse this guy. Oh, there we go. And now, we can move on.
Quality FSR now. Definitely need more of that shit. And I should probably eat a little too. I did just get fucked up by some creatures. At least I can come in here, that's cool. Festival notice. And it doesn't look like there's gonna be no festivals right now. Look at your chart. Alright, cool. I wasted a bunch of those in the beginning. Okay. Awesome. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright though, let us move on to the next FSR.
Now for a little FSR balanced gameplay. Oh, there's some people to fight down here, it seems. Should we do it? Let's do it. Alright. No, you're not touching me. Get away. Shoot. Screw you and your backflips. You're done now. Alright, anybody else? Or can we cleanse this mofo? Alright, let's cleanse it. Oh yeah, I'm doing a good job cleansing these gates. Alright, let's move on.
Well, now we're on balanced FSR. We just cleansed another one of those guys, one of those shrines. And I think there was one more in here that I'm hoping I can get to. It looked like there was smoke, so I couldn't do it. Maybe that's like one of those things where you have to take a little damage just to cleanse it. I don't know. It's this one up here. Look, there's some more food. I'll grab that real quick too. Ah, some miso soup. Nope, okay, I can walk right up to it. It just looked like there was that fog everywhere, you know? Hey, cool. I accomplished something. Look at that. I got rid of all the fog on this whole cool, like, Japanese park thing. Or shrines. Probably more of a shrine place. Fast travel. Oh, cool. Now I can do fast travel. Badass. Now we can absorb some spirits. And let us also move on to the last FSR.
Now we're going to do some FSR performance. So what do we got in here? Ah, energy of some kind? What do we got here? Oh, it looks like fire. Awesome. I have fire weaving. Alright, cool. And now I know how to switch through my attack types, so that's cool. Well, alright. There's a no. Alright. Anything else in here? Nope, not really. Oh, what do we got here? We can pray. I'm assuming this isn't the same kind of pray as a statue. Nope. Well, let's donate 500. I've got like $50,000. And I need more of those guys. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, let's move on.
Well, now we got FSR on performance. Alright, cool. No, we ain't no run-of-the-mill chumps. Not around here. We'll have to help him find some peoples. I sure can. Ha! Alright, cool. See, there's lots to do in this game. I like that. Alright, so I gotta look for something with a tail sticking out of it. Well, we can find that for sure. First, let's absorb some spirit. Alright though, why don't we move on?
Now we're gonna move on to some ray tracing. So we're leaving the game maxed out, but now we're turning ray tracing on. Everything will be on low. But we're not turning on upscaling yet. We'll do that at the very end. So now let's get back into the game. So here we go with the RT gameplay. We're starting off on ray tracing low. And as you can tell, we're getting abysmal FPS, but to be expected. We're 4K and we're trying to make it do ray tracing, which it's not good at. So, not surprising. And seeing as though FSR didn't really help with whatchamacallit, ray tracing on ultra wide, I don't think it's going to here either. Kind of lost my train of thought for a second there. Alright, so now I gotta find some doll. Whoa, shit, that's not good. I could probably be obliged to do that. Alright. We can do that. Alright, looks like it went this way. Almost looks like a little ghost. But let's move on.
Alright, now we got some ray tracing going on here. Alright, so it came through here. Up there inside, okay. I'll come back for you guys, I swear. All right. And with that, let's move on.
Now we're going to crank ray tracing up to medium, leaving the rest of the settings here alone. And sorry it's so jittery and jumpy, but that's just how it is when you're getting 8 FPS even in the menus. So it's not going to be very playable if that's any idea of what the gameplay is going to be like. So let's go see. Well, now we are on ray trace medium, so let's get a little gameplay in here. Still getting like 22 FPS, so we're still getting terrible FPS, but... Oh, and now we've gone all the way down to like 7 and whatnot again, so it just does that with ray tracing after a while, no matter what. Even if you exit the game and go back in, it might get like 30 FPS for a second or two, but then it always goes down to being like this. So there's supposed to be something to do with the ray tracing. That's the only thing I can think of, because it doesn't do this with any of the rest of the settings. If you don't use ray tracing, it's pretty good game, honestly. I'm sure it would be a great game if you had something that was better at ray tracing, obviously. But then stuff that's better at ray tracing isn't good at this at everything else. So it's like, unless you're playing nothing but ray tracing games, I don't really think that's a good trade-off. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, though, we're getting pretty close to a minute, so let's move on.
Well, now we're on ray tracing medium. This is probably... Oh, nope. If I go over there, those guys will see me. So I'm going to get the heck out of here before they come after me, because I do not want to fight ghosts at 8 FPS. That doesn't sound like a fun time at all. So yet again, yeah, just like on ultra wide, any ray tracing at all is probably going to result in 10 FPS even when we do FSR. Uh-oh. Alright though, that's more than good enough.
Right, now we're going to max out ray tracing, which is probably not going to go well since none of the other ray tracing settings went well. And then as the settings menu jerks and judders all over the places, I'm trying to show you the settings, but as you can see right there, it is on high, and then we'll move on to ray tracing and FSR next. Well, now we're doing ray tracing high, so basically the game is maxed out, and we're getting a whopping 9 to 8 FPS. Amazing. But no, this laptop, like I always say, is just not good at ray tracing, so this isn't surprising to me at all. But it's very hard to play at this, so this is not going to be a very long screen recorded gameplay or camera recorded gameplay, because I can't even fight stuff like this. I can barely walk down the damn street. I look like I'm a fucking drunk. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright. We'll walk forward a couple more steps, and I think it's time to move on.
Well, here's ray tracing on high, and as you can see, it's the most unplayable out of everything. I literally can almost not even move. We're getting like 3-4 FPS, so not playable at all. 2 FPS. So that's just too much for it. So I'd say, why don't we go and turn on FSR and see if that helps at least a teensy tiny bit. I doubt it'll help much, just like it didn't on ultra wide, but why don't we try anyway? We're here to do all the settings after all.
Now we're going to combine ray tracing and FSR. So we're only going to show this screen one time. But the game is completely maxed, and we got FSR on ultra quality, and there's no point to come back, because all we're going to do is change that one FSR quality setting every time. Alright, starting off ray tracing plus FSR ultra quality here. And we're doing a teensy tiny bit better, but 15 FPS is still not much better than 8. It's almost double, but still not playable. But it does show that FSR does work. It just can't be a miracle worker, unfortunately. It can't make this thing have better ray tracing performance. It can only hide it. It sort of worked when we were doing 1080p at least. Yeah, let's do this. Even if we're getting terrible FPS, we can still at least return spirits and be able to pick up some more, right? Alright, yep. You guys get to go home, I get experience. Everyone wins. Hey, look at that. I'm level 7 already. And now we can move on to the next FSR.
Well, now we've got FSR on and ray tracing on. Just deposited some spirits, so now I can go over here and absorb these guys. Heck yeah. And for now, I'm going to still try to avoid fighting. I can't fight well at 18 to 20 FPS either. But we can still explore. There's some new stuff to explore. Oh, I think there's some... Hey, there's a dog. I can give him food. Hell yeah. What a badass dog. Thank you very much, dog. You helped me, I helped you. Interesting. Not a lot of point to coming in here, but... Anyway, let's move on to the next setting.
Alright. Ray tracing and FSR quality gameplay now. Still getting about 18 FPS, so didn't really change too much. Sometimes it'll pump up to 30, but very, very shortly lived, and then we're back to down to 15 to 18. Hey, there's a spirit. Let's help it out. There we go, cool. Oh, we're at the kitty shops. No, but I don't need to buy anything yet. I'll do that off camera, not waste a bunch of time. Oh, cool. Lanterns. Turning trash into treasure. Alright, though. Why don't we move along?
Now we got some quality FSR and ray tracing combined. Still getting pretty abysmal FPS. I think no matter what we do, it's just not going to work out good for FPS. But hey, we're here to get footage, so we're still just going to stick with it. Cool, why not? Yeah, I was gonna say, that's not good. Oh wait, no, it is good. I guess it made these guys come back. Unless they were already in here. No, because I was in here. That's where the safe was. They weren't here. I'm almost positive of it. Anyway, though, now we can move on to the next FSR and ray tracing setting.
Alright, let's get some ray tracing and FSR balanced now. We seem to be getting 40 for now, but that's going to change. Like I said, it usually drops down eventually, just from walking around. Alright, let's help those guys out. Hello, kitty. They all went and turn into spirits, kitty. I'm trying to fix that. So just bear with me. Huh. Ooh, that's what it is. Alright, screw that. I don't want to fight you right now. I mean, I obviously could, but... we're too close to needing to move on to the next camera. So we'll just go back here and do just that.
Well, now we got FSR on balanced. And no matter what, it always ends up just coming back to being like under 20 FPS. As you saw, it was getting like 40 at times, but after a little while, no matter what, when you have ray tracing on, it just tanks your FPS in this game. So that's another reason to just not use it. Alright, we've been here before. Let's do it again, why not? Maybe my luck will change this time. Well, that's kind of neat. Not really helpful with what I'm doing right now, but still. And alright, let's move on to the last FSR setting.
Last up, we got FSR performance and ray tracing enabled here. So we're still not getting great FPS, and the game kind of now looks like garbage. So I wouldn't want to play it like this, but... Huh, I wonder what that thing is on there. It says Chichunki, or whatever. Chukinchi? I'm terrible at pronouncing names of anything that's not English. And hell, I'm not even that great at pronouncing English names sometimes, now I think about it. Shit. So I'm going to take a hit. Floating vacuum. Do we still have more food? Hell yeah, we do. We'll give him some food. Take a quick drink. Ha. Damn, he was like, fuck these boxes. I gotta show this guy something. Cool. These dogs are awesome.
Well, alright. We've made it to performance FSR and ray tracing, and even with that, we're barely at 30 FPS. So I would say no matter what, just don't use ray tracing if you're gonna do 4K on this game. I would just do FSR, max the game out, put FSR in ultra quality, and just enjoy some nice, fun game play. Because this game is a lot of fun, at least for me. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I like it. Alright, and I think that is good enough. Why don't we just wrap this video on up? Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Ghostwire Tokyo. And it did pretty good at 4K. I mean, as good as it could do. We started getting pretty low FPS as soon as we got off of low, but on low, with no FSR, I could at least get around 60. But as soon as we went to medium, I think we were right at around 40, and it just kept getting worse and worse after that. But once we did some FSR ultra quality, we were up in the 80s. So that's what I would do to play this game if you want to play it on a TV or something. Just do 4K, crank the game to max, FSR that at ultra quality, and you've got yourself some excellent gameplay. But anyway, that's a wrap for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next video, peace out guys.